So the battle for first place about to begin. Ward Melville, the home team. They won last year's matchup by 1 at home in a high-scoring game. And Smithtown East coming in winners of 8 straight games. Last loss was to John Day Cross River early on in the season. They come in off a win, 18-5 against Sachem East. So the top 2 teams in Suffolk County about to go head-to-head. Ward Melville will move right to left, and Smithtown East the other way. Ground ball raked towards Pryor. No Pat O'Neill today for Ward Melville. Battle for the ground ball still up in the air, and it's down into the defensive Ward Melville territory. Frank Siniglia closest to it, and still a battle for it. Nobody's come up with it. Took nearly 20-plus seconds before a team had possession. And now Zach Hobbs with a little trouble with it. He's able to find it ahead to Pryor, though. And Don Pryor going to work. Pryor right away shooting, hitting the crossbar on the first shot of the game. It pops way up into the air and out of bounds. And it will be Smithtown East possession.
Well, that was quick.
Yeah. Took longer for somebody to get possession than to get that initial shot off. So Smithtown East on clearance. Tom Harkin in goal for Smithtown. A little wayward pass. Hobbs battling for it with Luke Eschbach. And it's Hobbs, the sophomore, coming away with it. Pardon me, junior Zach Hobbs moving away. Hobbs push, trying to shoot across his body, shooting it wide. And then out of bounds again. So Ward Melville taking 2 quick shots in transition, nobody backing up. And Smithtown will have it.
So quick start for the Patriots. Nothing to come from it now, and we'll have our first taste of Smithtown East's vaunted offensive setup.
Talking to Jason Lambert, the head coach of Smithtown East, he did not anticipate nearly as high a scoring game as there was last year.
No.
He said that Ward Melville's defense has been very stout. Their offense a bit more methodical.
Plus, you got Giaquinto at X. He's done a great job, so.
To be fair, though, I don't think we anticipated that high-scoring game last year either.
No.
And he pointed out to me they hit the post at the end of that game. Not a save, he says, by Kellerman.
I think DJ is walking around Quinnipiac still saying he made that great save.
He had a couple of those last year.
14 on the game, or 13 if you discount that one. Now another
Bobby
pipe.
Burns ringing one off a pipe. A rebound quickly shot wide by Latini. Boy, the medal's been heard from a couple times already. We're not even 3 minutes in the game. Here's a spin move from DeSimone, bouncing in front and putting it home. But a crease violation will wave it off.
Yeah, DeSimone, you know, he's so good at X, setting his teammates up, so you've got to play the pass, and there he snuck in, but obviously the crease violation, so remarkably, it's not even May, and he's already over 30 goals and 30 assists on the year.
Yeah, he's had phenomenal numbers. There were a couple games where he was putting up 8 points consecutively. Well, DeSimone, unfortunately for him, he thought he was pushed into the crease. The referee saw it differently and saw that he kind of fell into the crease, so that negates the goal. And here is Eddie Munoz, who had 3 goals in the last game against Bayshore, and part of this first-line midfield. Brendan Aviles, who was largely a face-off guy coming into the season, he has played and emerged away into one of these top midfield lines. It's Davenport along with Munoz and Aviles. That continual tinkering process by Jay Negus as he tries to get this team to a level that he feels can achieve the goals they're looking to achieve. Pass nearly getting away from Palinetti, the sophomore. Palinetti being D'd up by Anthony Volker, who's sliding down to the close D today. Palinetti lets a shot go wide. And backing up for Ward Melville was Matt Carrillo.
Yeah, Dylan goes across his body and just misses the far post on that opportunity.
What a whistle prior to the restart. Maybe something from the bench. The official was looking back towards the Ward Melville side.
Well, you talk to the Patriot coaches. They're saying they're going to be more vocal. Maybe I was more vocal at their guys, not so much at the officials, but.
Well, last time we were here early season against Chaminade, it was windier than it is today, and the referees were like, if you have to come out and yell at us just to make sure we hear you, make sure we do. Look right inside, shot fake, and a good check right in front. Rebound by Palinetti, and he shoots and scores top shelf.
Yeah, opportunistic from Palinetti, and as you said, great shot block early on. Palmataria looked like had it, but then good job by Palinetti cleaning it up and giving the Patriots the 1-0 lead.
Right place, right time for Dylan Palinetti, and he ripped that through. So back to the face-off, X we go, and a clean face-off win for Mike Giaquinto.
Yeah, I got a chance to see his dad before the start. Like a lot of other parents around here, already wearing the gear, the gear that his older brother, Jake, has. He's got the Sacred Heart pullover.
You were making the rounds pregame.
It was tough.
Everybody coming up to you.
I needed to get here earlier.
Traffic on 347,
Oof.
never aiding and abetting with that.
Yeah,
There's Palinetti, nice face dodge, cutting it back, top shelf again. 2 goals for Dylan Palinetti in the opening quarter, and the Patriots have a 2-0 lead.
You mentioned it. It was a face dodge that just created the space that he needed and then just ripped it. What a great shot. Both goals, a lot on each shot. It's 2-0 Dylan Palinetti, 7:19 left here first quarter.
Goals coming 37 seconds apart for Dylan Palinetti and Ward Melville. Giaquinto to the face-off X, and Brian Herber, the senior there for Smithtown East. They have a couple capable face-off men, 2 seniors, Herber and Cucurullo.
Yeah, Herber had a great game in their last win over Bayshore. He went 12 of 18 from the face-off X. Giaquinto had the early advantage, and then you get one now for Herbert as Smithtown East now gets their personnel on the field.
Well, the thing for the Bulls is, there's no panic in Smithtown East.
No.
A couple games that we've seen them, they've been the quick team out of the game, but they can definitely put points on the board in a hurry. Low shot, Cassidy closing the legs to quickly deny that.
Yeah, Mike Marino, good opportunity there for East.
Here's DeSimone coming goal line extended, dips it back in on the question mark dodge and puts it by Cassidy. Smithtown East is on the board. And so much for Jason Lambert's prediction of a low-scoring game.
And that one, if you're Ward Melville, you like the matchup because initially it was McKenna, the Navy-bound defender, but a quick move. That's what's so great about DeSimone. He's so fast that if you can get a step on the inside as he did there, and even as he did when he was called for the crease violation, more often than not, it's a scoring. It's a goal either for himself or for one of his teammates.
35th goal of the year for Connor DeSimone. And that's in 11-plus games.
Yeah. And remember, too, they play a great schedule, and they're in the toughest public league, arguably, in the tri-state.
Maybe even the country.
Sure.
So Smithtown East, after falling down 2-0, they get it off the infraction on the face-off, and they go right back to work. Here's Connor Rowan on his horse. Rowan, a low shot. Cassidy going down low to make the save. DeSimone there backing up at X.
And there's that matchup again.
DeSimone trying to shovel it towards the crease. Latini with some good stick work, but Cassidy closes the door on it.
And you can see the physicality as well. Latini goes down, and good stick check, and now Ward Melville will get the clear they want.
In the form of Eddie Munoz. Both teams without one of their longer defenders.
Yeah.
As we talked about it, Volker had to slide down to close defense. And Pat O'Neill, the sophomore LSM for Ward Melville, he's out of action today with an injury.
Yeah, that's a tough break for the Patriots.
So that slides another sophomore, Frank Siniglia, into the close D, and they likely slide Alex Mazzone up to that long pole midfielder position. Midway through the first quarter, 2-1, Ward Melville on top. Both goals coming from Dylan Palinetti for Ward Melville. Dodge looking right on the crease, ball knocked down, kept alive for the moment, and then right into the long pole of James Peters.
Yeah, that's a tough pass. It's forced into the trees a little bit there, and here's an unsettled situation that East is so good at.
And Latini capitalizing on a bunch of those last game out against Smithtown East. We talked about in the open, the 8 goals, 2 assists, and a bunch of those coming in transition, but Smithtown East slows it down after Ward Melville quickly recovers. So here's Bobby Burns, a 4-year varsity member, 2-year starter for Smithtown, another Penn State commit for the Smithtown program. Burns falling to his feet, gets off a one-handed shovel pass right in front. Latini's got it, shot fake, rings it off the top right post. Caroms all the way out near midfield.
That's 3 posts now.
Here's DeSimone inverting Eschbach. He'll tuck it in. Eschbach checked off of it by McKenna, scooped up by Smithtown East. Don Pazzulli had the big ground ball. Here's Connor DeSimone, the hesitation, draws 3 defenders. Back up top, it comes for Burns, lets it fly high. And with 4:08 to go in the first quarter, Ward Melville still a 2-1 advantage.
And you can see how quickly Ward Melville comes out to the shooters.
There's DeSimone again. Already has the goal from there. DeSimone, another worm burner of a shot from Pazzulli going wide.
Yeah, Mazzone there with some good pressure.
Here's Latini, the Fairfield commit. Hesitation coming, goal line extended. Pazzulli now. And Luke Eschbach. All-county player a year ago, committed to Yale. A senior now. Here's Burns switching hands. Burns goes low to high right into the chest of Cassidy, who's there for it.
And he said it perfectly there, where it was a good opportunity for Cassidy because he was able to see that shot the entire way. Saw it right into his stick.
Siniglia finding Munoz. And Munoz drawing the double team. Tough pass, turning it over. And we'll have a whistle.
Yeah.
They say a push.
Fortunate there for Ward Melville. No need to push the pace there when you don't have the numbers.
Well, in this game, Ward Melville's really been the team that has seemed to try and push that tempo. First 2 shots of the game were very hurried in an unsettled situation. And there again. Here is Zach Hobbs around that 20-point mark so far this year. Hobbs shooting across again, tough shot.
But as you know, there's 2 different types of unsettled. One where you have the numerical advantage and one where you don't. I think the first couple they did, that one not so much.
Or the time where you take what's there and the times where you try and force what's not. Palinetti again looking for his 3rd already. And that time backhand was Matt Grillo. Of course, Matt's older brother Chris was instrumental in the LIC last year, taking over first year as a starter, tries to turn around on that jump shot and fires it off cage.
And Lockhart with the backup there, and what a big game he had just a week ago against the other Smithtown West. Really a breakthrough performance. One that you talk to the coaching staff of Ward Melville, they've been waiting for all year long.
Hobbs now going back behind for Lockhart. All 3 attackmen getting a touch now. 2:20 to go in the first quarter, a 2-1 lead for Ward Melville. Both Palinetti goals coming 37 seconds apart. Up top it comes for the Hofstra-bound Pryor. Tom Pryor had a great start to his season, 6 points early on against Northport. It's been steady, but that's the kind of game that they think that he's more capable of having. Those high point performance type games. Here's Grillo feeding back behind for Pryor. Pryor feeding across, and it's Lockhart finishing.
Yeah, you want that extra pass, and that's what you saw there from Pryor. A fantastic look back across the crease. And Lockhart finished it. Nice quick passing 3-1. Ward Melville, 1:44 left in the first quarter.
That was a tremendous dodge by Pryor off ball to set himself up in that position, goal line extended on the near side, and just quick sticked it across. Tic-tac-toe passing for Ward Melville. And that crisp play by Lockhart continues, and procedure that'll be against Aviles. Smithtown gets it back. 1:40 remaining in the first quarter.
(3-1) Ward Melville with the lead. Patriots come in, number 5 in our tri-state top 20 rankings. The Bulls of Smithtown East, number 15. And this is a big week. We'll get to that when we start the second quarter. Big week for our top 20. A lot of teams playing each other.
Here's Burns. The shimmy. Couldn't get the shot on goal, though. Faked his defender out.
Oh, my goodness. What a move by Burns. And he just couldn't get the finish.
DeSimone backing up, trying to cut into this deficit. As is often the case here at Ward Melville, standing room along the near side fence. From all those in attendance. Still some good seats around, though, so I don't know why they're all right up on the
tradition.
fence. Here's DeSimone right across, picked off by Cassidy.
Yeah, he tried to find Latini. Great job by Cassidy getting his stick up.
DeSimone on the ride, though, bounced around right into the stick of Cerrone. Fortunate break for Ward Melville.
36 seconds left, so you expect the Patriots to hold for the last shot of this first quarter.
Here's the sophomore Trey Berry bringing it up. As Berry inserted to the lineup, starting lineup 4 games ago on the first line midfield, along with Hobbs and Pryor. A sophomore who hadn't played until they took on Walt Whitman.
Yeah.
Here's Pryor looking right on the crease. Turnaround shot by Lockhart. Back-to-back goals. Pryor hooking up with Lockhart. And it's 4-1 Ward Melville.
Yeah, you mentioned it. These two combined for the third goal when it was a cross-crease pass from Pryor. This time just dumps it down low. And Lockhart turns around, fires. Second goal of the first quarter. So it's Dylan Palinetti for 2. Andrew Lockhart for 2. And it's 4-1 Patriots. 11 seconds left first quarter.
And Dom Pryor, a couple of assists in that as well. And the official signaling something to the scores table. Giaquinto and Herber discussing.
Well, it seemed like the clock kind of jumped, right? So we started at 44, it was stuck there.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you knew, it showed 37. So maybe there's just a little communication there.
Here's Herber winning it for himself. Pryor throws the check. Herber with 6 seconds left. Herber trying to move it inside, 5 seconds left. Herber checked out of his stick, recovers.
Oh, great job by
Could
Pryor.
not get a shot off as Pryor was all over him, causing havoc. And you couldn't ask for a much better start if you're Ward Melville. 4-1 after 12 minutes. Second quarter coming up on News 12 Varsity.
It's the reason we keep watching. Because of underdogs, crazy comebacks, and the last-minute heroics. Because we love it all. The face-offs, the hits, the big-time goals. Because winning never, ever gets old. So, we keep watching anywhere we can. Never miss a moment. Download the News 12 Varsity app today.
Fun little quirk at the end of that first quarter. Herber couldn't get the shot off because Dominic Pryor was all over him defensively. Not only are those two both seniors who are committed to go to Hofstra, Tom Schnarr is our producer finding out beforehand. They're going to be roommates next year at Hofstra. So hopefully that won't get brought up too often.
Yes, Seth Tierney might have to rethink the room assignments.
As you mentioned, big week for some of the teams in our top 20 poll tomorrow. We got Massapequa with Syosset.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Saturday, the Woodstick, Garden City, and Manhasset.
All those teams in our top 20. St. Anthony's going up to Yorktown. We'll have highlights of that. New Canaan at Darien at New Canaan. Bridgewater, Raritan, and Bronxville. A lot of activity among our top 20 teams this week.
There have been very few face-offs today that have been easy to come by.
Yeah.
As the ball goes towards the restraining line, a Smithtown East player falls, and we'll have procedure against Smithtown East. One of the defenders had stepped over that restraining line. So Ward Melville already the 3-goal advantage and looking for more. Well, the attack doing its job today. Palinelli and Lockhart combining for all 4 goals.
Yeah, and you mentioned that the future, I almost said Dutchman, the future
That's
Pride.
okay. I'll let it go.
Prider.
I'm a fan.
Pryor with 2 assists as well.
Here's Palinelli. Cutting towards goal line, extended back for Grillo. And Grillo has been the chief goal scorer for this team. But I'm sure Jay Negus likes to see the other guys getting involved as well.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one of the things I think, too, where a lot of these guys, they had different roles a year ago, but a lot of these guys back from that team that made that great state championship run.
Munoz stepping into one, pulling it wide. And that was the other thing we talked about last week with them against Smithtown West, is the ability for this team to put it together for 4 quarters. We've seen a quarter like that from them. And then they would have a lull in the second or third quarter. Can they put 48 minutes together?
And to be fair, they had a few of those lulls last week.
Yeah.
But Jay was saying after the game he saw progress and he saw the team play a little bit better for a longer period of time in that win.
Lockhart finding Grillo now. It's Grillo, the first-year starter, cutting hard, feeding across in another post. Connor Rowan picking up the ground ball. That's the 4th time we've heard a post today, and Munoz standing up. Matt Russo, but Rowan able to get by.
Yeah, when you make it that difficult to clear, you really limit the ability to get out in really what Smithtown East's strength is, which is in an unsettled situation.
At the same time, with Ward Melville, we've seen Smithtown East a couple times this year in the games that we've done, get out to those fast starts and then kind of slow it down or get into a little bit more of a conservative approach. They're battling from behind early on. DeSimone off a screen. Double team come, finding right on the crease Latini, who puts it in.
And that, again, that's one of the reasons why DeSimone is such a good player, because, again, you've got to respect his ability to shoot the ball. So the double comes, and he's unselfish enough then to throw the pass in front to Latini. Big reason, again, over 30 goals, over 30 assists. Going to Johns Hopkins, of course, and big goal for the Bulls.
He was a Suffolk Class A Rookie of the Year as a freshman. 3 years later, he's the chief engine on the attack for Smithtown East. And we have a clamp against Herbert. He's trying to rake it to himself. 3 minutes into the second quarter, 4-2, the advantage for Ward Melville. Pace has slowed down just a tad in this second quarter compared to the first. DeSimone playing on the defensive midfield, picking off the pass and moving upfield. He's doing it all so far for Smithtown.
Ooh.
Here's DeSimone around a defender, thought about pumping it home, instead gives to Eschbach.
When your leading scorer does that, I mean, that
makes your life as a coach a bit easier.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Eschbach got Pryor on him. We saw his defense earlier. Eschbach going low, the shot, rebound, put wide by Pizzulli. Battle for the loose ball to the sideline, and it's Smithtown East. Again, who else? Number 22, Connor DeSimone. So in the last 2 minutes, he's raced for possession, intercepted a pass, and set up a goal. Here's Burns with Hobbs on him.
Pazzulli was looking for the ball at the far post.
He was right there, just a bit off target. This is Latini pulling it out since he's been back. 24 goals, now make it 25 with today, 9 assists. Again, 10 of those points coming in the last game against Sachem East. Latini off a check from Hobbs, dropped the level. DeSimone not closest to it. They say Andrew McKenna was.
Well, half the fans here hate the call, the other half love it, as you would expect.
Again, the rule is not who's closest to the end line, it's who's closest to the point where the ball goes out, so that's what the official was looking at. So often that gets kind of conflated. Palinetti now to Grillo. 5 minutes gone in the second quarter, a 4-2 Ward Melville lead. Everybody getting a touch as Ward Melville passing it along, letting the flow of their offense.
Yeah, they can play a couple different ways.
Here's Pryor sidestepping and beating Harkin. Little waggle on that stick for Dom Pryor. And the third point today for the senior from Ward Melville.
Yeah, I like that little stutter step that creates a little bit of space, and then the sidearm shot. Got a bit of a screen on that. 6:41 left. Second quarter, 5-2 now for the Patriots. As I was saying, Matt, you know, they, in other years, maybe they are more patient throughout this entire game, but they play a couple different ways. You know, you'll hear the coaching staff yell out, Omaha, that's to slow things down. NASCAR, right, speed it up.
Yep.
So they've got them timeout, Patriots, so they've got a couple of different ways they can go depending on the situation and the personnel. And being that vocal is, again, something a little bit new to the coaching staff at Ward Melville. You know, when we spoke before the start of last week's game, you know, they even talked about bringing out the cones, which hasn't happened in years, just to get the spacing right, but the guys pick it up right away. And it's a different group than last year's group. Still a team, though, I think, that has that ability to compete for a state championship, but just different.
Yeah, Coach Nagus was saying that that progression is starting to come along to a point where he sees those things paying off, and he says we're not where we want to be.
Yep.
But you'd rather be there 9-0 in league and still trying to find your way than struggling with your win-loss record.
Nor would you want to be where you need to be in late April.
Yeah.
Because then how are you going to sustain that for the next, you know, a month and a couple weeks? And Smithtown East, on the other hand, similar as well, right? They start the year 1-2. They had that tough home loss to John Jay Cross River in overtime when they had a lead late. They didn't play very smart down the stretch. The time and score, something that Jason Lambert wanted to see his team value a little bit more, and then they did. As we went along, we saw them do that against Smithtown West when Latini had such a great game, and they've been on a roll ever since.
Same against Massapequa, one of those teams that could be the Nassau counterpart in the Long Island Championship.
You've got three excellent contenders, I think, right now in Nassau. You'd say Massapequa, Syosset, certainly the defending champions, and Farmingdale has played both of those two teams in not, if not consecutive games, and certainly in a short period of time, both very, very close.
For the most part, the last couple of years, it's been, you could pencil in Syosset and Massapequa into that championship game in Nassau County. Farmingdale trying to change that up. Left side, it comes for Grillo. Grillo Harkin got a piece of this. That sounded like it hit flesh. don't know if it got his inner thigh or what. And Palinetti chasing down the loose ball.
And penciling teams in. We thought we had these two
For sure.
penciled in a year ago, especially off that great game we had here in the regular season that comes down to the final seconds. But Smithtown East upset by Connecticut in the semifinals. Ward Melville do find their way through. They beat Walt Whitman. And then Ward Melville wins the Suffolk Championship. Eschbach with the work.
Moving back for Harkin. Well, you love to see your short stick defensive midfielders create turnovers like that.
And Eschbach as well. He's got the strength to do that too, where he can body a guy off. And we saw one of the best bull dodges of the year this year against John Jay Cross River when he just sent a defender through the turf.
And that was one of the traits that Coach Lambert said he did improve from last year to this year. He comes in this year a little bigger, a little stronger. Here's DeSimone with McKenna on him. It's been a fun matchup today.
Yeah.
DeSimone moving inside. Latini went out and got that one and then put it home. Second time those two have connected for a goal today.
Yeah, and you mentioned the matchup, and hey, Lambert will take that all day long, and so will DeSimone, to be honest. If you're going to put McKenna on him, he will absolutely find the open man, and that's what he did with Latini. The pass wasn't necessarily picture perfect, but Latini did his best to grab it, extend his stick out, and then finish really well.
So it's back to a 2-goal advantage for Ward Melville. They scored the first 2 goals of the game. Here's a face-off win for Giaquinto. And Giaquinto passing it back off for Pryor, and then he'll scurry on off.
Yeah, first face-off in a while that we haven't had
Just
a
clean.
procedure. Or, yeah.
Both coaches have been going to both face-off guys. Here's Hobbs.
Yeah, Burns all over him. Hobbs a bit bigger.
Here's Grillo deflected on the way towards Gage. And it's almost as if Jason Lambert said something to his midfielders.
Yeah, that deflection also came off of Calvin Trebbing. Give him some props for getting his stick out and deflecting that shot away.
Right side it comes for Palinetti. He's got Volker on him. Grillo at X. Calvin Trebbing is there, who had that deflection a moment ago.
But you're 100% right. We've seen, 3 straight possessions now. DeSimone, Eschbach, and Burns all get really involved on the defensive side.
There's Lockhart getting off of a check from Burns. Grillo thought about charging hard this way. Instead, he's kind of circling around at X, awaiting some help. He's got Trey Berry, the sophomore Berry, again defensively manned up by Marino. Smithtown East not making anything easy right now. Pryor falling to the ground, trying to get a pass away, no flag. Out of bounds it goes, and it'll be Smithtown East possession.
And you saw Christian Villani as well kind of step over Pryor. Pryor, a little tap to the back of the leg, let him know he didn't like that. Timeout, Smithtown East.
I think Pryor thought he got cross-checked.
Yeah.
There was definite some width between the hands on that stick as the check came. Timeout, 2:46 to go in the first half. Ward Melville on top 5-3. Christian Villani, who came into the season, and you talk about the maturation process of a team and the development of a team over the course of the season. Villani was part of the first line midfield. He played as a freshman and ran the second line midfield, didn't play last year. And he was kind of a Swiss Army knife. First line midfield, they'd throw a pole in his hands every once in a while. And now he's strictly a long stick defensive midfielder. They like that position for him better, and he's taken to it quite well. And it's also helped them get a little extra support on the faceoff. And Jason Lambert did this last year with one of his long poles as well, and I think it was Volker. Yeah, Volker came back in from St. Anthony's. They put a long pole in his hand, and he had committed to Fairfield by the end of the summer. So I'm sure he's hoping similar with Villani.
Well, that's an easier question to ask the young man, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you a little bit of a story, Christian. So 2:46 left first half. Entertaining first half. The Patriots lead it 5-3.
Each team has used one timeout, so each with one remaining. Bobby Burns stepping in for Smithtown East, trying to cut into this deficit, which was as many as 3, is now 2. Well, the Melville students making a little noise, and then silenced very abruptly.
Yeah, they didn't. That'd be
Carried
more
on.
of an extended chant they had going.
Here's DeSimone, little crow hop. DeSimone, he's got Alex Mazzone on him. Now it's Bobby Eschbach, Luke Eschbach, pardon me. Eschbach with Pryor on him. Fake the shovel pass, send around to the near side. And it's DeSimone up top. That was Barry flashing towards goal. But DeSimone with it, goal line extended. Near side, under 2 minutes to play in the first half.
You know, you always hear about guys and their stick skills, and I think what separates a lot of the better players.
Moving inside is Burns, and he goes top shelf. Smithtown East back within 1.
That actually works and perfectly to the point I was going to make, because what separates some of the better players is their feet and their ability to create separation that way. And Burns, one of those guys, DeSimone as well. So Bobby Burns, nice move to the cage, pulling Smithtown East within 1. They have not led this game. Ward Melville jumped out 2-0, and they have come as close though as this at 2-1.
Smithtown East has scored 3 of the 4 goals in this quarter. And it's Herbert along with Giaquinto. Bonnie's going down. Ball kicked forward by Smithtown East. Herbert chasing after it. Giaquinto giving chase as well. And did they give position before Lockhart fell down? They say a Ward Melville possession and a quick timeout by the Patriots.
I'm not so sure about that possession.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I gotta agree with you on that one.
So a minute and a half left in the first half, and Jay Negus and company get a timeout. Again, the battle for Suffolk supremacy today between these two teams, and so far they've faced a good portion of the rigors of their schedule. Ward Melville, they beat West Islip. Obviously, they beat Smithtown West. Same could be said for Smithtown East. Connecticut still, I believe, on the schedule for Smithtown East, but you're looking more in the rearview mirror as the schedule has gone away. So this game will go a long way into seeding for Suffolk County as we head towards playoff time.
Yeah, with Ward Melville undefeated, certainly they pull. If they win this game, now they'll be up on 2 games.
Yes.
Of Smithtown East. And of course, if Smithtown East wins this game, then everything is up for grabs going down the stretch.
So Ward Melville will have the possession out of the timeout. 90 seconds to go in the first half in a 1-goal contest.
First half has flown by.
That
I mean,
first quarter was
crisp.
quick.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't expect anything less from these two top teams in our tri-state poll. Smithtown East extending out the defense, Palinetti. And now Davenport lost a handle on it for a moment.
And that was Burns again with nearly forcing the turnover.
Well, the Smithtown fans wanting it to be Ward Melville ball, but that one I think the officials got correct. Burns was the last to touch it.
Well, they're still, I mean, they're still upset about the previous call.
Yes, yes they are.
now
we're here. And that was a
Yeah,
good call. We
yeah.
just had to let him know we didn't like it.
Yes.
Davenport losing it on the transfer. Burns redeems himself this time. Gives a look back towards how much time is left and flashes up a hand as if to say, let's hold on a moment. And Jason Lambert will take a timeout with 45 seconds left in the first half.
So another ground ball picked up on the defensive side of the field for Bobby Burns. It's amazing to say now he's a senior. We've seen him come up with some of Smithtown East's biggest moments for 4 straight years. You know, I feel like I say it every time we do a Smithtown East game, but you flash back all the way to his freshman year. Smithtown West at the time was #1 in our tri-state ranking. Smithtown East was kind of that second team in the neighborhood, right? Trying to earn some respect, and Bobby Burns scores a massive goal, a 1-goal win over Smithtown West, and that kind of started East's ascent up to the top of Suffolk A.
Yeah, and up to that time, it felt the year prior to that Smithtown West was eventually going to be the team in the program to overtake West Islip.
Right.
And instead, it was Smithtown East who kind of leapfrogged their in-town rivals.
And they've had that edge ever since.
And they have the possession right now with 45 seconds left out of the timeout. Both teams are out of timeouts. And a 1-goal contest. Smithtown East would love to tie it before the half comes to a close.
And there's that matchup again. McKenna in tight.
There's Latini. He's got Matt Cerrone on him.
He's basically locking off DeSimone right now, and DeSimone is fine with that at the moment.
Here's Rowan moving inside. A tough shot by Sean Barry. And they give it to McKenna. 15 seconds left. Across it comes for Siniglia. 9 seconds to go. Palinetti, Volker, Palinetti up high and scores with 4 seconds left in the half. The first half hat trick for Dylan Palinetti.
Yeah, and that's just him winning an individual battle. Beats his defender, makes the cut to the cage, goes upstairs, 6-4, 4 seconds left.
And all 3 Dylan Palinetti goals have been up top. A huge swing for Ward Melville with 45 seconds left. You figure Smithtown East, at the very least, they possessed the ball for the remainder of the half. Instead, Ward Melville steams down the other end and Palinetti pumps in a goal. So the Patriots a big goal in the closing seconds. Dylan Palinetti leading the way for Ward Melville and a 6-4 lead at halftime.
You watch because it's your home, your school, your team, because it's your brother, sister, daughter, and son. Because you love the "can you believe it, did you see that?" and the "oh my goodness, what a win" moments. So yeah, you watch. Never miss a moment. Download the News 12 Varsity app today.
Welcome back to Ward Melville High School. Matt Shortis and Dylan Butler and Tom Schnars with you as we get ready to start the second half. Ward Melville, 2-goal advantage at 6-4. Dylan Palinetti snuck one in with 4 seconds left in the first half to extend the Ward Melville lead. He had 3 goals in the first 24 minutes for the Patriots.
Yeah, 2 coming right away, bang, bang, first quarter, and then he saves his last for the closing seconds, and Ward Melville with the face-off win. They'll get the first possession of the second half.
Giaquinto's looked more comfortable in the face-off X over the last couple face-offs, and Ward Melville gets the possession once more. Hobbs flashing towards the net. Grillo didn't see him.
Nor did any Smithtown East defender.
And now they finally do get it to him, but he had his back towards Gage. Couldn't get the shot off. So Jake Negus continues to mix up the midfield, and now they have Hobbs on with Pryor and Munoz.
Yeah, he's looking for different combinations still at, you'd say, the midpoint of the year now, a little past that.
Well, this was the first line midfield to start the season. Munoz, now Grillo with it. Grillo around a back check. Harkin moving to his left to stop the ball.
That ball had a little bit on it where you thought after Harkin made the save, maybe it spins in and finds its way to the back of the cage, but it did not. And
Grillo showing some good strength. Smithtown East, Ward Melville wanting it over and back. They didn't get it, but instead they just converge all over Burns. Grillo comes away with the ball. He can't handle it for a moment. Smithtown East will get it ahead to Volker. Volker shoved to the ground. No flag, but a whistle on a push.
And
now
Pryor.
a flag does come from the far side. So the official that was right on top of it did not throw the penalty flag. But on the opposite side of the field, the marker came from.
And I think if you're Ward Melville, you don't mind that aggression, certainly. And it'll be a 30-second penalty. And they're making the clear very difficult. You saw Burns get eaten up, 3 guys right in the midfield. And then another one there with Pryor. Palinetti will serve the penalty. 10:31 left third quarter.
First man up chance of the game for either team. It's been a pretty clean game in terms of the penalties. Moving inside, Burns in tight, low shot, Cassidy the stop.
And nifty no-look pass by Sean Barry.
So 1 and done. Ward Melville should be able to work off the remaining 10 seconds of the penalty. Pryor trying to spin around one check. Scoops up the ground ball. It's Munoz roll dodging around DeSimone.
And Latini laying the wood at midfield. We're seeing the physicality step up a little bit now.
Munoz cuts back, and they'll start it back up. Palinetti to Hobbs now. Hobbs, who had the breakout sophomore campaign last year, was inserted into the first line midfield by season's end. Here's Hobbs again. Tough pass for Grillo. He's able to keep it in. Munoz now with it. They tap the brakes a little.
And that's a smart play, too, because when a pass goes awry, sometimes then you try to force something coming back in, and nice spin by Pryor.
Pryor looking right on the crease, ball deflected, turned over. Smithtown East has it.
I'm not sure if it was Palinetti or Hobbs he was looking for either way. Now Grillo.
Now Cosgrove stepped on the sideline. Smithtown East turns it back over.
Oh, what a ride by Grillo.
So the job that the Ward Melville attackers have been doing on the ride in the first 3 minutes of this half. They've forced 2 turnovers on the clear attempts.
Yeah, maybe they're taking a bit of a page from the Smithtown East book where you saw Burns and Eschbach and DeSimone so active on the defensive side of the ball in that first half.
Well, that was in their own defensive end.
Yeah.
Ward Melville not even letting Smithtown East get there. A little more than 3 minutes gone in the third quarter. Ward Melville's held the possession, but Smithtown East has not been able to clear it.
Fun matchup here, Pryor and DeSimone, but DeSimone spins off to handle Lockhart.
Pryor somehow keeping the ball in his stick for the moment, and good help coming over. Lockhart able to get to Munoz. Ward Melville a man down for the moment before Lockhart able to recover to his feet.
Yeah, it came up a bit gingerly. Looked like he was going to hold his shoulder, but he looks to be okay right now.
Here is Munoz as Ward Melville getting ready to change some personnel. A couple different midfielders coming on.
I wonder if we'll see a stall warning here.
One of them is Davenport, the other one Trey Berry. And Munoz is the one that stays on to work with the 2 of them in the midfield. There the stall warning comes. There is Munoz, lost the ball.
Yeah, the harassment came from Burns. So Smithtown East possession. Little chatter now with both teams.
There's Connor DeSimone. Getting drawn the double. Well, DeSimone was checked by Lockhart right at the beginning of the whistle. There was no 5 yards given. Here's DeSimone right off the face mask of Cassidy. Dive for the end line. Cassidy wins the race. What hustle from both players.
Yeah, both of them putting it all on the field.
Well, the officials signaled Ward Melville. Instead, DeSimone brings it in, and Latini puts it home. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Jay Nagus is going berserk on the Ward Melville sideline. The official indicated Ward Melville ball.
And even if you incorrectly indicated, you've got to correct yourself. We'll have a conversation, but the ball is being marked out to midfield. That is just horrible.
Wow. Yeah, because Ward Melville, as the fans around us are pointing out, they're settling back to the offensive side of the ball. They're getting ready to clear. They're not defensively minded at that point in the game.
Well, we've seen now both teams fall victim to a bad call by the officials. That one directly, of course, led to the goal.
So as a result, DeSimone and Latini hook up for the third time today, and it's a one-goal game. And Smithtown East catches a huge break. And Pryor eventually winning that turnover, winning the faceoff, pardon me. I mean, at the same time, as wrong as a call as it was, give credit to DeSimone for acting the part.
Sure.
Little gamesmanship,
Well,
I guess.
he'll take it.
Yeah.
You give him the ball, he's going to go. There's no doubt about it.
So Smithtown East will take that one and not look back. 6:15 to go in the third quarter. That's the only goal of the quarter so far, as Ward Melville a one-goal advantage.
Yeah, third time the Bulls have pulled within one goal. Ward Melville jumped out early, and they've led the entire way.
Here's Grillo off a screen. Give and go to Pryor. Pryor circling the crease. Pryor to move inside. He scores. Dominic Pryor has been the table setter for much of this game. Finally puts one home.
Yeah, a nice move around the cage there, swims around, and Pryor puts it home. Again, the two-goal advantage. Ward Melville, a week ago they talked about responding to adversity, and there, you know, you get a bad call, your guys are upset. Smithtown East pulls within a goal, and a great job by Pryor to extend that lead out again to 2.
And you know that Jay Negus loves the mentality there. You know, not sitting on that call and stewing about it, just getting right back to it. Giaquinto, Lockhart, quick passing now for Grillo. Grillo looking on the crease to a cutter, throws it away, and Smithtown East will have it back.
Yeah, and Matt, it's a great life lesson, really, right? I mean,
it's not always going to go your way.
No, there'll be unfair things, you know, in life. You'll get cut off on the road. You know, something will happen, and you can't stew. It's on to the next play.
Rowan going down. Flag down as well. And Smithtown East will have a 30-second man advantage.
Yeah, this time it's Lockhart going in. So second man up opportunity for Smithtown East. They didn't even get a shot off the first time.
I got one quick shot.
Okay, yeah.
It was Latini in tight. 0 for 1. Cassidy made a nice stop on it. So Smithtown East going back to work. DeSimone with it, 5:14 to go. Here's Eschbach, a bounce shot going wide. Here's Eschbach again. Wormburner a shot. That'll go wide. Penalties released. We're back to 6-on-6.
It's a good job defensively again for the Patriots. 2 30-second penalties. They kill them both off.
I always feel like 30-second penalties are so difficult to score on. You have to get a good shot, get in the offense right away. Here's DeSimone. Good check by Pryor. DeSimone recovers. DeSimone, Pazzulli pulling it wide, make it Barry, pardon me. And it's Pazzulli giving chase.
And I think Latini actually ended up getting a block on that shot to flex out.
4.5 to go, 2-goal lead. Ward Melville has kept Sachem East at that distance for much of this game.
Burns I mean, you love, I mean, all these matchups, they're so great.
Here's Burns on a bounce. Cassidy, the stop down low.
That time it was Hobbs on him, and again, the
That's
ride.
Cerrone losing on the transition. Cassidy trying to keep it in. He does. Cassidy pushed out of bounds.
They've got to advance.
We'll have a whistle. Do we get a timeout? Ward Melville taking it.
Yeah, they needed that one bad.
That was perilous from the start.
Yeah. When your goalie is throwing a backhanded pass from near the fence behind the cage, you know it's a good time to call a timeout.
4 minutes left in the third quarter. It's been a defensive quarter at that 1 goal apiece. Latini scoring off that poor call.
Yep.
And then Pryor getting it back. Pryor, the maturation for him, we spotlit him before the game, and he has responded. 2 goals, 2 assists, and you know we talk about Gene Negus wanting that progression and thinking that he should be a 3-4 point a game guy, and he's getting that today in perhaps the biggest game of the season for Ward Melville.
I would think so, especially that it's a league game, and you know we saw him down the stretch last year as well, as he and Munoz both stepping up in huge spots. So you know you expect, not that they were like playing possum or anything early in the season, but you know when the games get bigger, they do certainly show up in a big way.
And Pryor, who last year had more of a little bit of a sidearm release at times, this year has been more 3/4, more over the top. And coaches always love when they see their scorers going over the top. Low to high when you need to, but they love the sure mechanics of it.
Yeah, that's one thing too that Negus was saying about Lockhart. He said he was chopping his shot a little bit early in the year, and he's been much better with it since.
There's the sophomore Siniglia. His first start of the season with O'Neal sidelined. He gets a nice clear as well. So 1 sophomore out, another sophomore fills the void for Ward Melville.
Yeah, clears in this second half haven't been easy to come by for either team.
Meanwhile, we had some great sunny conditions at the start of this game. The weather has slowly gotten cooler, crisper, more overcast, and the wind has kicked up another mile or 2.
Yeah, we both made very smart decisions as we exited our cars to bring the jackets.
Here's Pryor again, looking for the hat trick. He's got it. Dominic Pryor, 5 points today, and Ward Melville matching their largest lead of the game. It's 8-5.
Yeah, talk about different ways that he shoots. That was more of a tomahawk shot, just over his head, and fires it in, and back-to-back goals for Ward Melville. They take now the 8-5 lead. So every time that Smithtown East is pulled within a goal, the response has been very positive for the Patriots.
And it started in this quarter with Giaquinto.
And this time another battle. The wings fly in, and there's a push. So Smithtown East will have the ball. A shade under 3 minutes left here, third quarter, 8-5. We're at Melville over Smithtown East.
There's DeSimone bringing it up. And Smithtown East, feels like a make or break spot in the game for them. Almost feel like they need a goal at this point.
Yeah, 4-goal deficit kind of heading into the fourth quarter will be tough.
Burns off a broken play. And who was that for Smithtown? Pazzulli had to gather his glove, gather his stick. Eschbach, shot fake goal. Got the defender to bite and pumped it home.
Yeah, and you mentioned needing a big goal, and Eschbach, the Yale-bound senior, delivers in a big way. The pump fake and shot. 8-6 now, Ward Melville 2. 21 left in the third quarter. You mentioned the defender bites on the fake, which gives him a couple extra yards to run in, and fired in the goal for the Bulls. His first goal of the game.
That's with 2:21 to go in the third quarter. Giaquinto winning the faceoff clean. Here he comes. Giaquinto shooting on the run. Pulls it wide.
That was as clean as you can get, although not according to the fans to our left.
Well, they've been spoiled.
Yeah, at the faceoff X, no
yeah.
doubt. Jerry Arceri now, of course, at Penn State doing his thing. Now teammates with Mac O'Keefe, former Syosset standout. Under 2 minutes left, 8-6 the lead. Ward Melville possession, and this also a big possession for the Patriots.
Penn State the big win this weekend to clinch their spot in the Big Ten tournament.
What a tournament that is, huh? Oof.
I mean, you have an opportunity where a look right in front here. Lockhart as a chase for it, out of bounds. Wow, no Smithtown East possession. I thought.
Long pole, Brian Cosgrove did a great job getting his stick on it.
Thought he was closest to it.
Well, no, he had the deflection in front.
It was Trebbing, I thought, closest to that point of exit. There's Mazzone. Pryor.
Minute left, third quarter. Pryor versus Burns.
Yeah, Pryor's been isolated. He's been feeling it in this quarter. .45 seconds left in the quarter. Ward Melville going to use a bulk this time. Here comes Pryor again, starts a dodge. Munoz up top, nobody slides to him. Munoz off the pipe again. I think that's the 5th or 6th time that one of these two teams has hit a post today.
And this time it results in a Smithtown East possession with 30 seconds left in the quarter. Grillo again with the ride.
It was the end of the second that Ward Melville capitalized off a late turnover. Smithtown East trying to do the same. 15 seconds left. Here is Burns loading up. Burns looking on the crease. Cassidy able to come up with a stop. Heaves it downfield with 6 seconds left. Lockhart unable to hold on to it. And a whistle with 1 second left. It's going to be Ward Melville ball.
Yeah, and this is a shot opportunity.
Yeah, in a favorable spot right outside the box. We'll see if they get a shot off. There's Munoz.
Screen! Get in front!
Eschbach.
And Munoz hits it. Eschbach getting his body in front of that one. That's going to leave a mark.
Yeah, well, he got his stick in there as well. He was setting up like a soccer wall.
Yeah.
A one-man wall there.
So we had a 2-goal game and a half. It remains that way as we head to the fourth quarter. 8-6, Ward Melville on top in a battle for first place in Suffolk County.
It's the reason we keep watching. Because of underdogs, crazy comebacks, and the last-minute heroics. Because we love it all. The face-offs, the hits, the big-time goals. Because winning never, ever gets old. So, we keep watching anywhere we can. Never miss a moment. Download the News 12 Varsity app today.
12 minutes to go in a 2-goal game. Ward Melville, the home team on top of Smithtown East, 8-6. Matt Shortis, Dylan Butler, and Tom Schnars with you, coming to you from East Setauket, Long Island. The home of the Patriots. Giaquinto has been impressive in the second half of the face-off X so far. Herber won that one for the moment, but Pryor there to hoover it up.
And that's where the wings are so important.
Here he comes, Pryor feeding across. Palladetti, quick shot and a goal.
Oh, you want him to go high? He goes high again.
Stuck it.
Fourth goal of the game for Dylan Palladetti.
All top shelf.
And the lead once again 3 for Ward Melville.
And another assist for Pryor. And it comes again, face off, It's a little bit mucked up, and then Pryor gets the ground ball with the great wing work and gets going forward and finds Palinetti, who just has a tremendous shot.
And Smithtown East has had no answer for Giaquinto in the face-off X in this half. He's been on an excellent roll. Here's Hobbs going to work for the Patriots. That goal coming just 14 seconds into the quarter. Turnover by Ward Melville.
Anthony Volker doing a good job defensively for Smithtown East, and now Volker will bring the ball up under a little bit of duress. There's Burns, tries to swim out, gets to clear.
I think Palinetti was anticipating Hobbs to be there to close it out. Here's Burns shooting on the run and answers back quickly. 46 seconds later, Smithtown East back within 2.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to give him the space, he's going to take it. And Burns, that comes right off the clear. The defense backs off him, and he takes advantage and fires it in. 9-7 now, 1 minute into this fourth quarter.
Second goal today for Burns. And back and forth we go. And Ward Melville scored the first 2 goals in this game, both of them coming from Dylan Palinetti. They've not trailed in this game. Herbert winning the face-off and raking it ahead. And Smithtown East will take a timeout.
Yeah, Christian Villani didn't want that timeout. The long pole wanted some glory there.
You'll need that later.
10:52 to go, and Jason Lambert. Guess he didn't like the way that one lined up.
Villani did. He was jumping up and down. He saw the opportunity there.
I mean, the thing is, if there is a long pole you're going to trust, you're going to trust a guy who started the season on the first line midfield.
Yeah.
You know he can handle the stick.
Sure. That's what he's probably saying right now in the huddle.
If you're Smithtown East out of the timeout, you almost feel like you gotta get the goal.
Yeah.
Get it back within 1 now.
This one, as advertised, between 2 of the top teams in our tri-state, and we expect the same tomorrow. The scene shifts to Nassau County when Massapequa heads to Syosset. 2 longtime rivals, a rematch of last year's Nassau Class A final, won by the Braves. That one will be live on News 12 Varsity. And, of course, then the 131st Woodstick Classic under the lights at Manhasset High School, Garden City, Manhasset, Saturday at 7 p.m. That's going to be another 8 and 9 right now in our tri-state top 20. And 2 contrasting styles there as well. This year, Manhasset looking to push the pace a little bit more. And Garden City, of course, under Steve Fennell, always such a defensive juggernaut. And they are, again, that way this year.
Historically, that's a very black and blue, low-scoring type game.
Yeah, that favors the Trojans this year, that's for sure.
Here's DeSimone. Eschbach catching fire up high. Well, that one had the goalie beat, just skied a little over the crossbar. Eschbach getting it up. Scored in the third quarter. 9-7 the Ward Melville lead. Here's Eschbach rolling away from the defender, shooting high off stick side of Cassidy. And we're back to a 1-goal game.
I'll tell you, Don Pryor was the defender there, and it looked like he was really working hard. Just a nice spin move by Eschbach, able to create some space, spins, gets the goal, and again, a 1-goal game.
Over pursued a little bit, and Eschbach made him pay.
So we had a 2-1 game in the first quarter, a 5-4 game in the second quarter, a 6-5 game in the third, and now it's 9-8 in the fourth.
And we have not been tied at any point today after that first goal was scored. Giaquinto winning the initial battle. Smithtown East player falling down, and Ward Melville's Lockhart coming away with a flag down, delayed penalty coming up on Smithtown East.
I wonder if it's offside. That's a slash. First 1 minute penalty as well of the game, and first man up opportunity for the Patriots.
Gotta be honest, I missed the slash. So big man up chance for the Patriots. 9-8 they lead, 10:07 to go in the fourth. And it's the first time, as Dylan said, they've been a man up today.
And our first 1 minute penalty as well, so you get a better chance as Palinetti tried to get some space.
Pryor took his eye off the ball a moment. Able to recover though. Skip pass to Grillo. Grillo loading, top right corner and scores.
Yeah, what a great pass from Hobbs, where he goes all the way across to the back post, and Grillo, a fantastic finish as well, and they capitalize on the man-up opportunity. 10-8 now for the Patriots with 9:41 left in the fourth quarter.
Grillo joining the scoring party. Ward Melville's leading goal scorer, getting on the board with an extra man goal, putting the Patriots back on top by 2. And this one of the reasons that Smithtown East has not been able to overcome Ward Melville at any point today has been the play of Mike Giaquinto.
And a great play there too, where he gets it in to Lockhart, and then Lockhart gets it back out, so they could reset, get their personnel on. They didn't force anything, and 2-goal lead with just over 9 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. But we've talked about how many different offensive weapons there are, and that's on display here for really for both teams, but certainly the case here. Dylan Palinetti on the ball now. He's had a great game, but the scoring has been shared.
And Don Pryor, 6 points today, 3 goals, 3 assists. For Ward Melville, there's Palinetti off a screen. Palinetti might have got checked. Instead, he puts it home. 5 goals for Dylan Palinetti, and I thought he got hit in the head on the way to net.
Yeah, definitely was high. I might have got the shoulder pad, but he absorbed the contact, and he used that strength of his. Just, you know, once he got off that hit, then he was free to cage, and he's not going to miss from there. 5 on the day for the Soft. And the lead, again, we've seen it get as close to 1, and then it balloons back out. It's now 11-8 with 8:43 left.
It's like an accordion.
Yeah.
There's Brian Herbert, fast break. Here comes Smithtown East, pumping it back right the other way. Is Sean Barry. That's how you draw up a fast break. And off a face-off win, Smithtown East back within 2. Here we go again.
Yeah, and again, it starts with the clean win by Herbert. He passes to Barry. Barry goes low, bounces it in, and it's not even 10 seconds later. 7 seconds, the difference between the goals. And when you talk fast break opportunities, that's right up Jason Lambert's wheelhouse. Another win by Herbert now, so he's got back-to-back wins, and he's given the Bulls an opportunity to get back.
Still a lot of time left in this game as well. We've had 6 goals scored in this quarter, which is more than any prior of the 3. Total goals, that is. So the scoring has been top-notch in this quarter, and why not add another one? That's Burns with his 3rd today, and it's a 1-goal game once more.
There he goes sidearm and drew the short stick. He'll take that. And yet again, second time this quarter, fifth this game, we've got a one-goal game. What a great contest.
Can Smithtown East get over this hump? The procedure, Ward Melville ball.
Yeah, that time he clamps down on it, so the Patriots get the offensive opportunity.
Then the largest time span that we have had between a goal in this quarter has been 58 seconds. That's the largest. That's how up and down we have been in quarter number 4. And Hobbs going back to work for Ward Melville after the procedure. There's Munoz. Munoz with DeSimone all over him.
What a fun matchup that is.
Yeah,
Two future Division I players, two of several in this game.
Yeah, there's quite a few on both lineups. Five minutes gone. We have now reached the longest stretch of the quarter of a goal drought. Here's Lockhart. For the first time in the fourth, somebody's working the ball around.
Well, if there was going to be a team that we thought it would be, certainly it would be the guys in white. Now, as again,
Well, the stall warning is up. Thought I saw it on the far side. Here's Grillo. Now we do have the stall warning, as the referee on the far side reminds them. Got to keep it in that box.
Hobbs.
As they load up in front, does Ward Melville. Pryor can't handle the pass. Scoop to the near side. Here comes Smithtown East in transition again. Barry back up top. Rowan gives it to the far side for DeSimone. DeSimone, a big bouncer going high.
Yeah, great passing there by East. They worked the ball around, the extra pass. Deso shot just misses, but they maintained possession.
That time with Villani having the ball in his stick, Jason Lambert let it go. And Smithtown East looking for the first tie today. Here's Latini, 10 points in his last game against Sachem East. Latini turning, firing wide. DeSimone there for the Bulls. 5:33 to go in a one-goal contest.
And there's another great matchup.
DeSimone with McKenna in him, cutting inside. DeSimone's shot saved by Cassidy. Rebound to Latini, and DeSimone is down.
Yeah, he was hammered on the crease. Initially, it looked like, and he's quickly up, which you like to see, obviously, but initially it was McKenna, but then I think it was a second pull. Might have been Mazzone there as well.
Has a little hitch in his step as he heads off the field. And again, because play was stopped, he's got to come off at least for a moment. I'd imagine, based on the way he's walking off right now, we'll see him pretty quickly. But they'll want to get him checked out. So Burns comes on. The attack of Pizzuli, Latini, and Barry. And it's Rowan, Eschbach, and Burns at the midfield. Burns throws a little fake. Outside it comes to Rowan. Rowan. Look back, he was trying to come ahead to goal line extended. Latini lost his footing, able to hold on though.
Yeah, you could see he was just about, and he's got a bit of a hitch in his step now. He was just about to rev and fire off that pass from Barry and took a slip on the turf. He's back up.
Latini shooting on the run. Cassidy the stop. Rebounded on a grab by Ward Melville.
And now McKenna will have the opportunity to clear.
Mazzarone, the timely ground ball. Frank Siniglia bringing it up with 4:25 to go in the game.
And we expect to see another, you could hear it across the way, Omaha, the call. So they will slow things down.
Grillo had Calvin Trebing on him.
4 minutes left now. 1 goal advantage for Ward Melville.
Last year's game again coming down to a last-second shot. Here's Munoz shooting up high and scoring. Gives Ward Melville a little cushion once again.
Yeah, good job by Munoz, just taking the space given to him. And he fires in high, so 3:42 left. Back to a 2-goal lead.
Excellent effort by Munoz. For both these teams, so often it's been as simple as who's winning the faceoff. Herber had it, but the ground ball to Ward Melville. A little tie-up, and does Ward Melville get a timeout off here? No, they did not. Smithtown East will have it.
So DeSimone still on the sideline. 3:15 left.
And as many weapons as Smithtown East has, that's still a huge loss. Here's Burns shooting on the run. Deflected before it got to Cage. McKenna battling for it with Eschbach. Burns the ground ball. Burns surveys, tries to find an open man. Has it on the left side, Marino. 2:55 to go in the game. 2-goal advantage, Ward Melville, 12-10. There's Burns again, initiated that last offensive series. Burned by a defender. Veers back to his right. Vern cutting back to the left side. Burns bounces it just inside the crossbar in.
Well, he gets a bounce shot again, a 1v1 situation, and Burns spins and takes the high bounce shot, and we have a 1-goal game again. 2:34 left in the fourth.
That is Burns' 4th goal today, 3 of them coming in this quarter. So closing out the game strong for Smithtown East.
And I'm looking across the way, and DeSimone on the bench, helmet off.
Yeah. So Smithtown East is to win. It might have to be without number 22. Herber won it for the moment. Herber going to the ground.
Oof.
Ball loose. Bodies going all over the place. McKenna in trouble on the end line. McKenna will throw it away to Cassidy. Almost surprised Ward Melville did not take their time out there. Pryor over midfield. And Pryor will step it in. Pryor then lost it on the check. Rowan, the good check to get it away. And Rowan over midfield. 1 man clear, under 2 to play in a 1-goal game. Rowan losing his footing, keeping the cradle alive. And Jason Lambert will take the timeout.
A really smart timeout there with Rowan hitting the turf and falling, and just want to get something set up here. 1:48 to go in the fourth. We've said it before, Ward Melville has led this entire way.
It started off with Dylan Palinetti scoring 2 goals in that first quarter. At 7:56 and 7:19, Connor DeSimone a moment later got Smithtown East on the board. And then Pryor and Lockhart hooking up twice at the end of the first. It was a 4-1 Ward Melville lead after a quarter of play. But Smithtown East turned the tables a little bit in the second quarter. They had it to within 1. It was 5-4. and they had it late with 45 seconds left. Instead, they end up turning the ball over, and Dylan Palinetti scores a goal with 4 seconds left in the first half to make it a 2-goal lead at halftime for Ward Melville. And again, back and forth we continued to go. Smithtown East scored the first goal off the third off a really bad call by the officiating crew, signaling the possession one way, and then Smithtown East getting it after that. Pryor scored 2 goals after that, and Ashbach would score 1 to cut it to 2 again as we went to the fourth. But in this fourth quarter, the offensive floodgates have opened up. Palinetti has 2 goals in the quarter by himself. He's got 5 on the day. Burns has 3 goals in the quarter by himself. He's got 4 on the day for Smithtown East. Throw in Munoz, throw in Grillo, throw in Eschbach. Bunch of guys getting involved in the fourth, and it's a 1-goal game. 12-11, Ward Melville on top with 1:48 to go in the contest.
And from the looks of it here, DeSimone looks like they've got him through the concussion protocol, just running him through some tests. And with 1:48 left, you'd think it's, and now the clock is
clock just went
completely
off.
out.
And they're going to stop play for a second. I don't know if that was an electrical surge or what that was.
I think if you're East, you like the way that Burns has kind of stepped up as a bit of that leader on the offense now with DeSimone out.
Here's Burns again. Burns the waggle on the stick. Off a screen from Pryor. He flings it wide.
Yeah, Rowan with a great pick. 1:24 left.
Pazzulli backing up for Smithtown East.
It looks like DeSimone's got his helmet on now.
Waiting for a chance to get back in, maybe, or trying to talk Jason Lambert into letting him get back in. Here's Rowan. Hobbs defending him. Rowan again, eyes up. Eschbach with it. Eschbach will draw the long pole. Burns with Pryor on him. Burns will just step into one, let it go, and shoot it wide.
1 minute and 1 second left.
It doesn't appear DeSimone is going to come back in for the remainder of this 1 minute. Look up crease. Nobody touched it. No over and back call, I guess. I guess Ward Melville did touch it. And now we finally do get it.
I don't know what took so long to make the
Yeah,
call.
I don't know. So Ward Melville can sit on it. Smithtown East is try and force the turnover. 36 seconds remaining. One goal contest.
You got to figure Harkin's going to be coming out of this cage.
Harkins out a little bit, trying to shut off Palinetti.
There's the
Grillo double team.
Ooh,
timeout.
Whoa.
Just at the right time. So Jay Negus calls the timeout with 25 seconds left. Some of the Smithtown fans headed for the exit. That's right. It's 25 seconds.
Where are they going to
You
go?
waited this long.
They're going to I mean, the traffic on 347 was pretty bad, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be that bad. But here, you know, if you're Ward Melville, it's almost like an onside kick where you want your hands team, right? You want the guys who have the best ability, that combination of size and strength. You think of a Hobbs, right? You think of a Palinetti.
Pryor, who's been shorthanded today.
Yeah, Munoz as well. They do have options, which is what you like to have. It's not just one guy right now who will have the stick have the ball in his stick.
So 25 seconds cannot go fast enough for Ward Melville. For Smithtown East, they've got a lot of work to do down in their defensive end of the field, try to create the turnover, come down the other end and score to force overtime with just 25 seconds left.
And remember too, right? A year ago, a 1-goal lead for Ward Melville, and then DJ Kellerman either comes up with a great save or not, depending on which coach you talk to.
Palinetti getting around the defense, had an open look at the goal, decides to feed it back behind. Here's Jack Purdy, a senior. Purdy hit hard And a flag down, another one coming down, 5 seconds left. Purdy will get it off to Hobbs, and Ward Melville, who did not trail in the game, will hold on.
And a great job by Purdy, some frustration on the other end, and for a second straight year in the regular season, Ward Melville wins a classic, a 1-goal win over Smithtown East.
Some tremendous offensive performances by the Patriots. Dylan Palinetti with 5 goals. Dominic Pryor, 3 goals, 3 assists. And the Patriots improved to 9-0 in the league. And they put a 2-game cushion between them and Smithtown East.
You watch because it's your home, your school, your team, because it's your brother, sister, daughter, and son. Because you love the "can you believe it, did you see that?" and the "oh my goodness, what a win" moments. So yeah, you watch. Never miss a moment. Download the News 12 Varsity app today.
Ward Melville stays perfect in league play as they hold on 12-11 over Smithtown East. Now joined by Dom Pryor at 3 goals and 3 assists today for the Patriots. Dom, that game, it seemed like one of the more physical you've played in all season. That last couple minutes, how were you guys able to hold on defensively there?
We just came together as a team. That's one thing that our coach tells us we have to do every single game. It's just play together, communicate through everything, and especially during like a game like this, we really had to stay tight, and that's what we did.
And I know so much of this season has been about getting to where you want to be in terms of your development, your skill as a team. Do you feel like this is the most complete game you guys have played all year?
Definitely, actually. I felt like Coach Negus always just, in our brain, it's just always got to play 4 quarters, keep it together. And I think, we had a couple mistakes, but, in the long run, we came out with it. It was definitely a complete game.
Last year, obviously, you were a starter on the championship team, returning this year. But we talked about that journey. How is this group different from last year's crew?
We're more mature. We know what we have to do. Coach Negus holds us to a higher position. Us captains really have to lead this year. That's the one thing he really wanted. And they have a lot of respect for us. And we're just coming together at the right time.
And lastly for you, what was working offensively? Probably one of your best games individually as a season today.
I was just drawing slides early. That's what Coach Negus noticed early. And my offensive players just knew how to cut, knew where to cut, and I got the ball to them. They were able to finish, and it's just, that's all.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Again, Dom Pryor with 3 goals and 3 assists today. 6 points in the winning effort for Ward Melville as they stay perfect in league play. They knock off Smithtown East by a score of 12-11. That'll do it for everybody involved in our broadcast. For producer Tom Snars and Dylan Butler, I'm Matt Shorter saying so long. We'll catch you next time on News 12 Varsity.